Austintown Township Public Forum in session. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Santos?
Here.
Mr. Shepherd?
Present.
Mrs. Deaver? Here.
Good evening, everyone. To my far left, our fiscal officer, Laura Wolf, is present. Trustee Monica Devers. And to my right, Robert Santos, trustee. Our township administrator, Mr. Mark Diapolito. To his right, our new and upcoming zoning inspector, Don Molchin. To his right, our outgoing and famous zoning inspector, Darren Corvelli. Chief Delmont from the police department, and from the fire department, David Schertzer, chief. Park supervisor, Todd Schaefer. And our senior center supervisor, Jim Henshaw. And myself, trustee Bruce Sheppes. So we'll need a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 30th, 2025, for nuisance and zoning, and the public staff meeting of August 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers? Yes. Mr. Santos?
Yes. So at this time,
Hey Santos, how you doing?
that's right.
She said Santos.
Sheppes.
Did I? No.
You said Santos,
I
you
swear to
said
say
Said
yes.
it twice?
I don't know, you said Santos, he said yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hey, if you want to be, we can switch. No, I'm sure. I want.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway. Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh,
So at this time, we'll open up the floor to public comments. If anybody would like to step forward.
Andy Pizzello, 2960 Spring Meadow Circle. First, I'd like to vote of thanks to our trustees, our police chief, for allowing the Highway Tabernacle security team to go in and use the police range under the supervision of retired Lieutenant and Reserve Officer William Hosel. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. The other thing I'd like to point out from Highway Tabernacle, and I put one in front of everybody, this will be on Sunday, 21st, an invitation for Hometown Sunday, which will have an outdoor tent, and there'll be so much activities for every age group. We'd love to see you all there. You got a personal invitation. If you can make it, we'd love to have you there. We'd love to have our leadership there. Anyone else out there, it's an open invitation at Highway Tabernacle, September 21st, this September. Thank you very much.
You do this every year? Andy?
Every year. It's been going for, I think, the last 2 or 3, averaging well over 1,000 people.
Yeah, I've been there. It's a very good time.
And
Thank
we
you for the
know,
invite.
well, I can say that we have a trustee that provides something for the children.
Anytime.
Thank you.
So at this time, you might have your administrator's report, Mr. Diapolito.
All right, well, it's been a little bit since we've been together here. Good news, resurfacing will be starting this week. We've had a couple delays and had an asphalt plant breakdown at the beginning of last week, so we're starting a week late, but their completion date remains the same. The street sweeper is expected back soon. It has had extensive warranty work. That's to be worked out. We still have our snowplow order from 2023. I'm negotiating that with Glen Hill right now, trying to get those delivered in time for winter. The roof and door improvements you see going on for the road department behind us, those were encumbered in 2024, and they're just now coming to fruition. It's been a very brutal industrial market out there for improvements in vehicles. So that takes me over to some of the fiscal notes I made. So we're about 68% through the year. Halfway through 2025, the general inflation rate's being reported at about 2.7%. Many of our township goods, like I was just explaining, have had difficulty even getting our hands on them, so some of those have faced greater inflation than that 2.7%. We are now complete with all 2024 CBAs. Not all of them have been approved by you, some of them are waiting on approval from their various bargaining units, but they'll be before the board shortly. Clerical is before you tonight. Generals is about 27% expended, but that's going to change when we do the end of the year. Because that's the fund that transfers out to everybody. Most importantly tonight, I don't want to steal all Lori's thunder, so I'm just going to jump to police. They are currently sitting at about 61% of their budget, but their budget included over $1 million worth of general fund transfers. That's more than the general fund brings in levy revenue in any given year. So if you take their percentage against what they're receiving in the levy funds, it's closer to 72% expended. Meaning there's 11% difference, which is where the levy comes in to close that gap. So the cuts management are making, they're working, the reductions in manpowers, the not purchasing cars, the limits on training, and the more aggressive schedule changes with special assignments or task forces are all having an impact. Some of those impacts are temporary band-aids that you can't carry on forever. Like our current fleet isn't going to continue to run forever, and the maintenance costs will catch up. For now, we're in make-do mode, but you can't live there forever. So that levy is important. We got to close that gap, but even with the levy, it won't be a return to total normalcy. It'll be a lot closer to normal, but you know, we've learned some lessons along our way too. Fire's just a little above average at 70.4% of the year versus the 68%, but that's probably still the truck payment working itself out through the course of the year. Other than that, you know, I'll let Lori take care of the percentages. I just kind of wanted to talk about those and what they mean for our operations. We also have a pending senior center position open. We're posting out for that. Currently have a handful of resumes here, but you know, if anyone's interested, get their resumes in. And other than that, I think that's about all I have for the administrator's report.
Thank you. Okay. So, we need road department and cemetery.
I kind of already took road department there. We'll be kicking off resurfacing again this week. We'll start with grinding and then paving.
So then I'll make a motion to accept resignations from Dominic Lipinski and Gregory Fonda, employees of the 2025 Summer Work Program, as of 8/21/25, and Jackson Kanicki, resignation date 8/22/25.
So moved.
Second. Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes. Number 2, the Mahoning County Engineer's Office will be starting the CDBG on North Oak Wycliffe Sidewalk Improvement Projects, Phase A, tree removal. The project will not start until later in the year.
If I may on this one.
Sure.
This is the result of a sizable CDBG grant we received from the Mahoning County Commissioners. It involves selective slab replacement within the North Wycliffe Census Tract area. It's the only census tract in Austintown Township that's eligible to receive CDBG money from the federal government. So the plan is to remove several trees from the Devil Strip that are disrupting the sidewalk. Those are large old trees that are also disturbing the roadway. Residents who have one of those in front of their home will receive a letter, and we will level and repair the sidewalks after the tree removal. There's 2 phases to the project.
So moved.
Second.
It's not a motion.
Motion. It is a motion.
That's not a motion?
No,
Okay. So I'll make a motion for number 2, A2, to approve the Mahoning County Engineer's Office will be starting the CDBG at North Wicklow Circle Sidewalk Improvements Project, Phase A, tree removal. Project won't start until later in the year.
So that's not the
Is
motion.
that necessary?
That's just
No, not
information.
Yeah, it's just a notification from,
Okay, so then you don't need a motion for it.
Special project.
So we just go to 3.
I'll go through. So I do need a motion to authorize the Township Administrator to execute an emergency contract quote with DNR Landscaping and Excavating for the immediate repair of the sinkhole on Spring Meadow Circle. This work will be financed in part by an emergency OPWC grant. The cost of this work should not exceed the engineer's estimate. How about explaining that, Mark? Huh? Thank God for that.
Yes, yes, yes.
about 2 weeks ago, we got a phone call that there was a sinkhole forming on Spring Meadow. So we went out, and sure enough, there's a sinkhole in the, it's not on the road, but it's in our discharge pipe in the grassy area. And it was about the size of a construction barrel, one of those orange barrels you see on the highway. And so as soon as the backhoe was available, we went over there and dug it out. And, you know, immediately we realized there was a lot more than met the eye. So we dug down, and we got down about 10 feet, and a connection that the original developer of that neighborhood installed 30-some years ago, about 33 years ago. One of their connections had failed, and we began looking at repair options. Unfortunately, there are no viable repair options because the ground has settled and the pipe is misshapen and brittle all the way through. So I reached out to the Ohio Public Works Commission and was able to secure a $58,000 grant to replace almost 200 feet of 36-inch storm sewer. That is deeper than our in-house backhoe will reach, which is why you see the emergency contract. And that work will be fine. We have a 10% match on that. And an engineer's estimate of $65,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Thank you, Mark, for that. It was impressive work there.
Thank you. And I do want to thank our road department who did an excellent job of digging it out and exposing it so we could see the problem, because, you know, when you have a sinkhole already, it's too late for engineering. You gotta expose it, and then our engineer came out and, you know, assessed the situation.
Well, there are some residents from that neighborhood here tonight, so I'm sure they're grateful as well. Chief Delmont?
I have our monthly stats for August. The police department handled 1,888 calls for service in the month of August. 218 reports, we had 40 arrests, 236 traffic stops, and 63 traffic accidents. Overall, that's up from August of 2024 by about 130. Our communications center, the dispatch center handled a total of 9,060 calls. 2,443 of those were 911 calls. 2,680 of the dispatched calls were for Austintown Township. 774 required EMD dispatching by the dispatchers. 312 of those were in Austintown, and we had 2 CPR assists, which means dispatchers provided instructions for CPR over the phone until first responders got on scene. I'd also like to just touch real quick on the shooting that we had in College Park a couple weeks ago. It was handled very well by both the dispatchers, the officers on scene, and the detectives that came out and handled the investigation. Due to everybody's ability to work together and their quick thinking, we were able to have the shooter in custody within minutes of the shooting call coming in. So they all did a really good job on that. Motion, we have a motion.
Sure. I'll make the motion to approve the settlement agreement from grievance of overpayment to dispatcher Grace Yarian.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Chief Schertzer, Fire Department?
So for the month of August, we had 393 calls that we responded to. Of those calls, 8 of those were the fire nature. 2 of those were overpressure, rupture, explosion, or overheating with no fire. 240 rescue and emergency medical service incidents. 18 hazardous conditions with no fire. 63 service calls. 39 good intent calls and 23 false alarms for a total of 393. We were successful in applying for an Ohio BWC grant. We're getting, it's a $15,000 grant max. We were awarded the max, which is actually $12,500. We have the $2,500 match on that. So that will allow us to get gloves and particulate hoods for our firefighters. That money should be coming into the township at any time. That's the, it's called a FEEG grant, Firefighters Exposure to Environmental Elements Grant. And then I have the motion to approve a donation from Kirk Colquitt in the amount of $50.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Then I would ask the board to approve the requisition for purchase, make a motion for 10 sets of structural firefighting gear and 10 pairs of structural firefighting boots for the amount of $38,000.
What's the life on those?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, we have folks that are coming up on being expired, and we need to keep them in date gear.
Yeah.
So,
Safety.
yeah.
So moved on the motion.
Second.
Dave, what did those cost a couple years ago?
I don't know. I'd have to look back through order quotes.
They were a lot less, weren't they?
We got a pretty good price.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad. So I can look back through and find out, but I think we did okay on this one. We got 3
Okay.
quotes from 3 different things and went with the middle one. We didn't go with the cheapest one. It was gear that we weren't real comfortable with. It had some new designs in it that weren't proven yet, so we didn't feel that it was the time to go that route, but.
You don't go cheap with fire here.
Yeah, right, so, but anyway, so that's where we're at with that. Still waiting on a quote to finalize the helmet side of it, but once we get the helmet quote, I'll bring that as well, and then that should be good for this year.
Thank you.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Zoning?
Yes, ask the board to approve the following property nuisance pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 505.87.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Deaver?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
For number 2, we don't have any vehicles that we declare a nuisance today, and Darren will talk about the third motion.
Okay, trustees, I would ask your consideration to adopt the resolution to initiate a zone change. And I'm just going to read it and give you some background and why
Please do.
I'm asking you to do this.
Yeah.
Austintown Township Trustees, 82 Old Town Road, Austintown, Ohio, 44515. Pursuant to Article 4, Section 414, Paragraph number 2 of the Austintown Township zoning ordinance, as amended through August 5th, 2024, concerning the initiation of amendments to the Austintown Township zoning ordinance, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Austintown Township find it necessary to initiate hearings to amend the Austintown Township zoning ordinance and Austintown Township zoning map to reclassify and rezone the following parcels of real property from Business B2 districts to Business B1 districts in their entirety. Plot number 26 90 South 4 Mile Run Road, parcel 4801000177, lot number 2691. South 4 Mile Run Road, parcel 4801000118, lot number 2692, South 4 Mile Run Road, parcel 48010-0-119. Said properties are contained in the 4 Mile Run Road lot, are located on the east side of the South 4 Mile Run Road right-of-way, directly southwest of the Huntmuir Avenue South 4 Mile Run Road intersection, at a combined frontage of 220 feet, and are zoned as business B2 districts in Austintown Township and Hunter County, state of Ohio. And the board may recall, it should look a little bit familiar. We talked about this last December, but this is the property that housed what we'll call the former Zodiac Lounge. There's actually 5 parcels of land that is owned by the company that owns this, Elko Land Company. They have 2 northerly parcels that are somewhat a combination between grass and gravel that were used as a spillover parking lot. Those are also zoned B2. I'm not asking you to rezone those. It's just vacant land at this point. Just a brief overview, the Board of Appeals approved a conditional use permit for the Zodiac to operate a bar with a food service component, and that food service component was supposed to be a substantial part of the business back in 2017. And in late 2019, after problems there, mostly law enforcement problems, we held a hearing and the Board of Appeals revoked that conditional use permit. People were here from the Wickliffe neighborhoods. They testified. We had representation here from the Mahoney County prosecutor. And subsequent to that revocation, the operator, Brian Van Dusen, filed a pro se appeal to Mahoney County Common Police Court within the required 30 days, and that was his right. And ultimately, a magistrate put a stay on the revocation of the conditional use permit and gave a date for the township to appeal that. And then a couple hours later, the magistrate issued a second stay and basically took away our right to have a hearing. So we're going into 2020, and basically we're going to do that again, but then 2020, everything changed, COVID. And the facility was shut down for probably close to 2 years. We didn't have any problems. And I know once it started back up again, the operation was very erratic. They didn't seem to have set hours, set times. But when they did have an event, usually the neighbors knew, if not police and fire or zoning. But as we progressed, I met Chief Delmont out there, I don't know, around midnight, I think, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. We had received complaints. This is just one issue. He had taken the basement and converted it to bedrooms. With, you know, they had beds with like linen walls and you know, and of course I shut that down right away. But it progressed and it progressed. And then it got to the point where there were calls there, 911 calls for, you know, gunshots. And we have our police officers going into the basement of an overcrowded building, you know, where there's gunshots. And then our fire is there. You have the neighbors. You have the patrons in the building trying to get out. And one thing led to another, and we decided we would challenge their liquor license, which this board did, and the liquor license was put into storage. And as I said, we brought this in December. I think after some discussion, it was decided, let's meet with the owner. And we did that. We met with the owner and his legal counsel at that time, Chief Gavalier's office. Dominic was there, Chief Gavalier, and Lieutenant Collins. The owner and his legal counsel were there. And they said that their lease with Brian Van Dusen was month to month, and it would expire December 31st, 2024, was not being renewed. They said that they changed the locks, but they did give him a key so that he could get the liquor out that he still wanted, which we were good with that. And then they would take down the signage, which they took down the pylon sign. There's a decal sign on the door, but it's not a Zodiac, it's or something. And then that would be it. And then we just advise in the future, you just have to, a new tenant, just go through zoning, fire, building, board of health, whatever. So this past July, I received a phone call, and it was, the phone came back to Brian Van Dusen. It didn't sound like him, though. Because 3 years I've had enough interaction. And Brian is very professional to deal with. If you met him, you'd like a nice guy. But I knew that wasn't Brian. I consulted with Chief Delmont, and, you know, what are you going to do? I had an inquiry from Attorney John McNally, wanted to sit down with zoning to discuss the reopening of that property. Not necessarily as the Zodiac, but the reopening of that property. New occupancy, but it's still the same people. It's Brian Van Dusen and whoever else is done. So we set up a meeting for October 12th at Chief Delmont's office. She was there, Chief Scherzer, Dominic, and Attorney McNally, and Brian Van Dusen. Brian was a little bit late. I asked Attorney McNally, did Brian Van Dusen have permission from the owner to represent that property at this meeting? He did not know. When Brian came in, McNally asked him if he had talked to the owner, and the owner, Brian Van Dusen's response was, yes, I have permission. You can't second guess it. What are you going to do? So we have the meeting, and Brian informed me, and this picks up to my July phone conversation, that you don't need a liquor license for a bottle club. He also informed me he changed the locks.
Explain, I know what it is, but explain the bottle club,
A
please.
bottle club is an establishment without a liquor license. You bring your own and you do whatever you want.
That's what he did after 1 o'clock. He shut down his bar and then let everyone bring BYOB, which is where the majority of issues were after the liquor license time ended.
Yeah. So anyways, so now we're at the bottle club. I believe him when he said he changed the locks. Because Eli told us he had a key, so. And he also said he's never vacated it. His lease is terminated. And at that point, I advised Attorney McNally that been here, done this, definition of insanity, keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and expect a different result. We've had nothing but problems there, and he actually had 3 bites at the apple. The original approval, to stay by the magistrate, and then post-COVID. And the place is a nuisance to the neighborhood, and it's a threat to our safety services. So the ball's in their court. If they want to reopen, they're going to have to submit something. And they have not submitted anything, but I get a call from Chief Delmont a couple days later. They get called there. And you have the report, and I don't want to go into detail with this report. It's not, it's a PD report, it's not from zoning. But it proves he has access to the building, he's in there.
So for clarification, just for purposes for the residents who are here, by us changing it from B1
Yeah, I'm going to.
for B2 to B1, then they can't have a bottle.
I'm going to talk about that. The reason, so anyway, this report confirms everything that he said. And what he says, I think, is accurate. What we were told in December by the property owner, some of it was true, some of it wasn't. And I have been maybe a lone voice up here. I don't believe Brian Van Dusen and the Zodiac is our problem. Our problem is the property owner. So what is B2, what is B1? B2 allows for all the uses in B1, but it's basically retail, restaurants, a number of conditional uses. B1 is professional services, non-retail. So one of the things one could argue is you're taking my property, and I would say we're maybe doing a partial taking, because I want the board to remove the B2. One could argue the Zodiac's gone, there's no business activity there. It's not a nuisance right now. I mean, it was enough that the police got called, but there's no valid occupancy permit from Zodiac to operate anything there. One could argue that. If you initiate this, we will have public hearings, we'll have 3 of them before the Lorraine County Planning Commission, Austintown Zoning Commission. The board will have the final decision on what to do. If the owner were to come to us with a legitimate B2 business plan, or even some sort of clean warehousing, which is an industrial use, being pro-business that we are, we could put them before the board and ask for a limited use variance to approve a use for maybe some sort of clean warehousing or some sort of non-restaurant, non-gathering type business or some sort of specialty retailer that has absolutely nothing to do with booze or alcohol, I should say. So there's still options for them because we want the building occupied. We want the building to be productive. We want the building owner to seek a nice investment for his return. Mostly, we don't want the next business to be a nuisance for the neighbors and a dangerous risk for our police and fire. And that is why I'm bringing this to the board. I just don't want to leave here and then at some point in the future, all hell breaks loose down there. And the administrator and I talked last week, and you know, he's a heck of a lot younger than me. He said, they're probably going to have a Halloween party down there. I said, no, nobody is.
We tried to do a silk party a year and a half ago, an indoor pool.
There's been a lot of issues. I'm not going to give you a laundry list of everything that I've had to deal with. We put together a lot of details for the license here. We'll put that together for the case. But it's, you know, life is not easy because I deal in land use and people have a right to use their property. But on the other hand, those neighbors have a right to feel safe in their homes. You, as a board of trustees, want to go to bed at night thinking we've done everything we could to create a safe environment for our police and fire. I mean, it's just a difficult situation. I prefer not to do it, but I don't want to leave here. And next thing you know, we have some sort of tragedy down there. And I've been through this enough. The problem is the property owner, because they're the ones who dictate who comes to us.
Okay. I just want to recap a couple things I think are important to clean up for the audience. So, you mentioned the property owner being an issue. Going back to December, the property owner submitted a letter to us, and I believe we replied, right? And he basically said that the Zodiac was out, and we used that as the basis to terminate the conditional use permit. Because a conditional use permit's valid as long as you're operating.
Yeah, there's no
Once we
valid.
received notification that the business had ceased, their conditional use expires, for lack of a better word, correct?
Correct, yeah, there's no valid
So-
zoning, obviously, zoning conditions.
So as far as we're concerned, no one's utilizing the building, at least not legally at the moment. And then the other thing, just given the high volume of use that it had when it was the Zodiac, that had an impact on the neighbors, not just the gunfire, the phone calls, but the parking, the disruption to their lives, and not
The
being able to
noise.
get in and out of their.
The noise, the litter, the alcohol bottles, it's just the kind of negative secondary effects you get with certain types of businesses.
And that property just isn't suited for that. They don't have ample parking, they don't have ample
Yeah.
security, fire.
And you all know this, you all can. This isn't up on, North Meridian in an industrial district. This is across the street from our residents in Lakewood. I mean, that's what it is. So anyways, unless the board has any questions.
My question is more statement. So, I mean, I can tell you now, and for the residents' sake, they know, all three of us, after that one incident where it was like 27 rounds were in a car, we were all united in going to the prosecutors, which when Chief Cavalier was still here, it's probably you took over, Val, but he said, talk to the prosecutor. I know as trustees, our authority is very limited, which sucks in a situation like this, but find the way that we can shut this down. We are pro-business. We're not pro-business if they're going to put the safety of our residents at stake. And as far as I'm concerned, if you want to run a business this way, then I'll go ahead and put chains on the door myself. I'm sure one of you all buy the lock, the other buy the key, and we'll shut it down ourselves. I mean, we want businesses to come in, but not like this. So we were on board with it. Then we got that letter, like Mark said, that everything was being addressed and all the concerns were being removed. And now to see this continuing, I say, you know what, I don't care. I already got phone calls to watch what I say about certain two individuals, but they all can leave and get the hell out of Austintown. They can go somewhere else. I don't want them here. Neither one of them, I don't. They can find somewhere else. That's my opinion though.
For the record, I want to clarify just one thing. This is coming at my request. I didn't seek legal counsel. This is coming from, this is my request. And I think we should do it. I didn't vet this with the prosecutor. I just feel that I know we're limiting their ability to use their property. But we can't risk that. And I think we'll have, it'll just open again, just without permits.
Okay, Darren, since we're changing this, what if someone come in, like a family restaurant, like my restaurant, how would they go about that to be able to use that facility for that event?
They would
Still be able to do that, correct?
What they would have to do is they would have to go before the Board of Appeals.
Not that I'm opening another restaurant.
They would have to go to the Board of Appeals and apply for a limited use variance, which they could grant, and then that restaurant would be able to operate under certain parameters. And for instance, like something like your restaurant, they would put a provision in, no alcohol. We don't want to tell people days of operation, hours of operation, but we got to keep alcohol on there. And one of the things, well, why don't we rezone an industry or industrial, and maybe it'd be redeveloped as small scale warehousing, flex space, that sort of thing. Problem with industrial, one of the permitted uses as industrial is sexually oriented businesses. So that doesn't give us an opportunity. Even rezone it to like I-1, because then that's a problem. So, it is what it is. I've got no other solution. I'm very disappointed with property owner. And when Chief Delmont called me and I was advised and saw the report, and believe me, there's no worse things happened down there than what. But it just confirmed everything that he said.
That's my next question. Chief Delmont, what do you have to say about all this?
I'm in agreement that it has been a a problem location for years. And the stuff that's happened there, and the stuff that we've seen, us not being able to get in, people not being able to get out, residents' lives being disrupted for the weekend, and them having to clean up after and deal with the people parking in their yard, people leaving trash in their yard. I definitely agree that it's a nuisance.
And what I'm asking you to do is initiate this. You're not making a decision tonight as to actually rezone it to B1. You're initiating the process, and notice will go out. Property owner will be advised, but as will abutting property owners. And we'll put it through the process. And maybe going through this, maybe somebody will get religion and say, hey, I got to do a little better job on my property. And you know, that would be a good thing to happen. But, you know, and then going back, let me just finish up my thought on a restaurant similar to yours, so they can do a use variance. And then if a year goes by and everything is fine, you know, if that operator wanted to rezone it back to B2, whoever the trustees are would probably do it. It's just, you got to keep alcohol on there. And you can do it through, you know, the process of liquor license. But man, when they open the bottle club, you need a magic wand to wave over to get rid of that. I mean, yeah, you can go in and raid it and stuff, but you don't know when they're going to do it. You don't know what kind of problems you're.
They post on Facebook all the time, so we let people know.
That's all I have, unless the board has any further questions.
Anyone else?
No. So moved.
Make a motion.
Can you do it?
Did you make a motion?
I read it, you just have
Yeah,
to,
it's
so
up
move
to
second and vote on it.
Yeah. Move.
Second.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Santo?
Yes, absolutely. Reported on.
All right, moving on to,
Get some of my chocolate.
Mr. Schaefer, Parks Department.
I just want to let the board know that I got a phone call from My Splash Pad. They will be coming out on the 19th. Close the pad down for the winter. Therefore, we are going to close it after this Sunday. So next Monday morning, we'll take all the standing structures down and get the process started. That way, everything's ready for when the company shows up on Friday to do all the work on the lines and stuff for the winter. So I guess as of 8 o'clock this Sunday night, the splash pad will be closed for the year. On the 24th of September, we have the county track meet out at the park. That's a pretty big event. The park's pretty packed for a few hours that night. I'd like to thank Austintown Junior Women's League. Every year they come out on September 1st and put out the teal ribbons and signs for the month out at the park. That's for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Makes the park look nice with those teal ribbons, and I just want to have the public know why those ribbons are there for the month of September. Also, last Friday I had Canfield High School Special Ed class out at the park again for a few hours. They come out every spring and fall. They have for the last 8 or 9 years. They spend 2 or 3 hours picking up litter, branches, just anything that's laying around the park for 2 to 3 hours, and they have lunch, and then they go back to school. It's a nice group to work with. The kids, they actually they work pretty hard. They're easy to get along with, and they get a lot done in that 2 to 3 hours. And the teachers are new this year, Allie and Zevino, but she really liked it. She wanted to keep the tradition on, so she came out this fall, and she has already said that she will be keeping that tradition going, and they will be out every year, like I said, in the spring and fall to do this.
Just a couple of upcoming events. Saturday, October 4th will be the NAMI Walk out at the park. That's from 11 to 2. NAMI is for Mental Health Awareness Month. They have their walk out at the park. It's been over 10 years now. They have done that every October. Also, the following day, October 5th, will be the Pink Out for Mahoning Valley. It starts at 12 o'clock. There'll be music, 50-50 drawings, food, all kinds of fun for that. This is I believe, the third or fourth year that they've been out there at the park for the Pink Out, which is for breast cancer awareness. Saturday and Sunday, November 1st and 2nd, will be our holiday markets out at the Stacy Pavilion. That's from 11 to 4. Anybody needs any information on that, you can just call my office. And that's all I have. Follow us on Facebook. I put everything on the park Facebook page. That way the community is kept in, everything they know what's going on out there at the park all year round. That's all I have.
Thank you. Senior Center, Mr. Henshaw?
Okay.
I believe you have a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do a motion.
Oh, you have a motion? Motion to accept the resignation of William Spalding, part of the summer work program, as of 8/26/25.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes. Mr. Henshaw?
Okay, my turn. First of all, I'd like to echo what he just said. The senior center is also on Facebook, and our schedule's out there all the time, so if you're looking for something to do and you're over 55, look us up and we'll find something for you. We've got lots going on over there. First off, I'd like to welcome our student nurses came back last week, and they'll be there clear through the spring. We usually get 1 or 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They mingle with the crowd, they take blood pressures, they take pulse ox things, they talk to the people, they participate in what they're doing. And the attitude in the senior center really perks up when these young guys, girls and guys are in there. I have to watch the guys once in a while because they keep wanting to have the same cute little nurse take their blood pressure 3 or 4 times per day. But outside of that, it's not usually a problem. And we have a big event coming up at the senior center this Thursday. We'll be having a big party for Mr. Fluffy's 11th birthday. He actually turned 11 today, but Thursday is when we're going to have the party. And I will be making a breakfast that morning for the members, and you guys are invited. The breakfast will be served at 9 o'clock in the morning, so if you're in the neighborhood, stop in and we'll feed you. And that's about it.
Thank you. Over to fiscal, Ms. Wolf.
Okay. Just a few stats. So revenue and expenses should be at about 67% at the end of August. And when I looked over the revenue reports, and this is before the second half real estate settlement was put in, so that was just put in today. But as far as revenue goes, road department's at 81%, police department's at 79%, fire department's at 100%, park is at 70%, zoning's at 12%, maintenance is at 44%, and communications is at 84%. Zoning, we know, ends up like that because the only way they generate revenue is through permits and fees. They don't receive any property tax. So they're mostly funded by the general fund, but sometimes we'll get the years where quite a few big projects come in, so they'll be able to fund themselves. That's a normal year. Maintenance and communications are also offshoots of the general fund. Maintenance and communications, we try to fund from other departments as well because they take advantage of those programs, and they also do not receive any property tax. So The county has helped us out quite well with communications, and the other communities that we dispatch for have also contributed to that. On the expense side, road department's at 58%, and again, the figure here is 67% or less. Police department's at 59%. Fire department's at 67%, which is right on track. Again, I think some of the purchase of the property and the other things, the one big loan payment is starting to even out. Park department's at 63%. Zoning's at 48%. Thank you for that. Maintenance is at 66%, and communications is at 66%. So overall, when I look at the cash balances right now, before that settlement's in there, cash balances look okay. I do have scheduled transfers though, like Mark said, about $1 million into police, 51,000 into park, about 178 into zoning, and 22 into maintenance. And as far as the second half settlement, the real estate we received on that, the road department's at 54% of their taxes received. Police is at 92%. Fire department's at 99%. Park department is at 68%. And I have zoning in here at 19%. That's their revenue, but they also do get some of the nuisance. They recoup some of the nuisance, and the rest goes to.
Today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You paid us like a shock.
Yeah. So overall, I think we're in a good place. I appreciate everybody paying close attention to their budgets this year, because if we don't, we're really going to be in trouble. But so far so good, and I'll have better numbers once I have the settlement numbers. They weren't in the reports I was given, so after I take a look at those, we'll know kind of how we're going to end the year out.
Thank you. So I'll make a motion to accept the August report submitted to the board for review, 1 through A to E.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes. And then number 2, a motion to approve the advance from the general fund, 1,000 to 15,000 to maintenance, 6001.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
And on this last one, I just want to make a comment before you go ahead and read
Please
it.
do.
At the end, it says, placed in the township's general fund. Actually, those monies go into the lighting district fund, 4501.
4501.
Lighting fund?
Yes. Yeah, lighting district.
All right, then I'll make a motion to approve number 3.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
And can I make another comment on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the assessments for the street lighting districts. I take all of the electric bills from the prior year, and I have a spreadsheet that takes all those numbers and distributes it to each property. So that's how those numbers are come up with. They are from actual electric bills. So when you see the street lighting on your property tax, it's for the actual amount of electricity that was used for those lights.
And under new business, we have a motion to approve the agreement between the Austintown Township Board of Trustees and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, clerical unit, effective upon execution through December 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
And moving on finally to remarks from the board. Ms. Devers?
Well, I just want to let everybody, we cannot forget Thursday, September 11th. We'll have our remembrance ceremony at This year it'll be at 6 o'clock. It's usually at 10 o'clock in the morning. They've changed it till 6. Hopefully more residents will be able to join us in the ceremony that we have. I hope to see everyone there. And now the school's in session, I want to wish all the teachers, students, and family a safe and successful and joyful school year. And I also appreciate everybody here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving Austintown.
Mr. Santos?
Well, our yearly trunk or treat's gonna happen this October at the park, October 25th from 3 to 5. If you guys want to participate in that and have a trunk, you know, go ahead and do it and get with any 3 of us. I'm more happy to set you up. I guess I'll touch real quick. I know there is a petition going around to get rid of property taxes. I'm not gonna get into a whole heated thing, but I just want individuals to know, this board understands taxes in general are out of control, and we're willing to sit at the table to figure out a more sensible solution, so that way, 1, it's not a burden in your pocket, but 2, we can still fund the services that you deserve to have. And I know we have a levy on the ballot that's coming in November. We're not a board that's just gonna throw levies on the ballot. We're also out there advocating to ensure the state funds us appropriately. One such incident is, all 3 of us we set up our state senator, Al Patrona, Tex Fisher, who's the west side of Mahoning County, and even our representative, Lauren McNally. We got Senator Morano and Congressman Ruley coming down to the Drug and Human Task Force to tour it, so we can kind of explain to them, hey, here's what this does for the entire community. Here's what Austintown provides to it because of all the issues that they deal with, keeping the drugs off the streets as much as they can, as well as the surrounding areas. Obviously, we pay a portion to that as well. It is in essence a burden, but it's a necessary burden. Without that, drugs would run rampant. They already are, and look how much we're investing in it. So we're not a board that's just levy. We are advocating to our state legislators to free up funds. We're definitely letting them know they need to tighten their belts as well and free up some funds. I know I said this a couple times, but the 3 of us were able to get the state legislators to submit an amendment to give us our casino money back. Yeah, it failed, but that's more than any other legislator or trustee has gotten in the past. And that's one step in the right direction, and we're going to continue to fight, kick down their doors, not knock, we'll kick down their doors until they start giving the funding back. You saw us 3 advocating for the dispensary funds, and we'll keep doing what we can to bring the dollars back into your pocket, and as well as give us the funds we need to provide these services, so Darren can go ahead and send some more nuisances down the way. But in that, we appreciate it. Listen, the more collectively we work together, the more likely we're able to succeed. So if you guys are willing to jump on and assist us with any of these issues, we're more than happy to have you jump on board. Other than that, thank you all. It's been a while. I've been up since 1, and hopefully y'all can understand me. My brain says I'm talking normal, so hopefully it's coming out right. But I've been up for over 24 hours almost, so I'll shut up the way Bruce is looking at me. So, I'm done.
You're good.
Good.
Take your time.
No, you're good. You want me to? You can be here all night. I mean, it's only 6:30. I can keep talking.
We're gonna talk all right after this. Just wanna say, I hope to see some of you at the trunk or treat, as well as the 911 memorial. It's quite special. I'm looking forward to it being in the evening, so I'm not as hot as I usually am. It's pretty brutal sometimes. Thank our department heads for all that they do. Super impressed with them. It's a new regime, and it's going in the right direction. Darren, thank you for the hard work you do, what you do. I mean, I know you may not be the most popular guy in the room, but I get it. And thank all of you. Good night. I'd like to recess to executive session. Dang.
Yes.